All right, the last thing for August 15, 2026. This past week, as I said, we were out kayaking, and this was our second time in our kayak since the incident last summer that caused quite a bit of trauma for my wife and myself and the other 6 members of our crew. We were out, if you go back a year ago, I talk about this a little bit, about how we were in the ocean and we rolled over in the ocean, my wife and I, from our tandem kayak, and eventually we had to get rescued by the Coast Guard. It was very traumatic, it was very scary, but this kayaking trip that we did was our first time back on the ocean and in our kayak after it had been repaired and our confidence had been regained and we were feeling a bit more, well, quite a bit more confident and wanting to go back. So this is like getting back on the horse after you get bucked off. It took a year for us to be able to do that. We left Horseshoe Bay. We paddled to Gambier Island, which was 10 kilometers. And then from there, the next day, we paddled to Keats Island, which was 15 kilometers away. And then to Langdale Ferry, where we walked on the ferry with our kayaks. At the end, we hit some bumps, hit some waves, like some choppy waves and some turbulent water, but nothing like we did last year. And it was about working through our fear. In episode 20 of season 3 of The Inspired Athlete, Mike Brilla brings us an episode called Fear, No Fear. No, don't fear fear. And so this has to do about being afraid because we are afraid. About pushing through that to do things that are hard. This was our working on our fear and working through that. So Mike, in this situation, we have to do risk assessment and look at what are the risks of being afraid. Is that fear there that is legitimate or is it not? If it's afraid of, something that's not going to harm us, might cause us some mental distress, but we are safe and all those things, then I think it's fine for us to push through that fear. But if it's about actually there's a waterfall and, I'm going to not be afraid and I'm going to paddle my kayak over a waterfall that's going to drop, 60 feet, that's unrealistic, I think. But you're not talking about that. You're talking about dealing with the notion of fear and about us doing things that are hard. And my wife and I and crew, we did a hard thing this past week. And I'm really happy that we got through it. We had a successful time and an enjoyable experience. All right. Hope you're doing well. That's it for this week. And we'll talk to you soon. Okay. Bye.